Welcome, guys, to Remax episode 42. Oh crap! I forgot to do the cameras.
How can you fuck up this early already?
My man, I've just been so excited that you're back that I couldn't contain myself. All right. Anyway, welcome to episode 42. It's June 2nd, 2015. We have a lot of awesome stuff to talk about this week with a lot of awesome people. Let's get into it with the intros. HuK, my man, where have you been? What have you been up to? Is life good? Do you still like yogurt?
Yeah, I like yogurt. It's not great, but I'll put it into like a protein shake or something. I'm sure my man Kane knows what I'm talking about. Other than that, been in SoCal, living the dream, man. SoCal's like, I don't know, so sick. I just love it there. Hopefully someday move there. Other than that, casted for 2 weekends, chilled for another half a week, and then wrecked some noobs at some shitty SoCal land. What up, Ariam? I see you in chat, homie. Get dumped on. That's about it. Just chilling and having fun, basically.
Are you in Canada now?
Yeah. I just got back like 2 days ago or something.
You won a tournament, right? That hasn't happened in a while.
Well, it was like 2 best players were intense and Ariam, so even though I hadn't played in 2 weeks, gotta get it, right?
Yeah, of course. What about you, Kane? What have you been up to?
Not much. I casted WCS for a weekend, chilled in SoCal, played in the weekend before that. So, been doing a shit ton of traveling, but now I'm kind of back home. Kind of getting in my groove again.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Been reading a couple books, playing a couple games. Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Blysk? For those that don't know Blysk, he's from Singapore, right? Did I fuck it up? Yes.
Yeah, I live in Singapore, but I'm originally from Germany. So.
Oh, really? I thought your last name was like Polish or something.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's gonna get really confusing if we continue down this road. So.
Well,
we can just stop here.
Okay, sure. But what have you been up to?
Nothing much. Started streaming more, I guess. The subscriber button is now live.
Nice.
So, get that train going.
Yeah.
The HuK life.
Yeah. And you got shredded in WCS, right?
This is like old news, but seeing how I guess actually performed versus the Protoss in WCS, I guess I don't feel too bad afterwards.
Yeah, of course.
The scar still runs deep, though.
Yeah.
The scar still runs deep.
Yeah. Well, too bad you didn't get as lucky as NXZT or something. And,
yes.
Yeah, made it to California. But yeah, this week. Oh no, wait. There's me too, guys. Yeah, I've just Come on, my man. Don't be like that. Okay, fuck me. All right. WCS Group E, F, G, and H happened the last weekend. Well, it lasted 4 days. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the results. You know, the headlines of like who lost and who succeeded. So let's start with Group E. Lil Bo finished first. I actually doubted him. I'm a fool. And Hydra finished second. Snood finished last. Chris, what do you think of this weird result, right?
I mean, I feel like most people consider Little Bow, whatever the fuck his name is, pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like, within the player circle, I mean, I think everybody expected Hydra and Snoot to be the favorites in the group. But Snoot dropping out last is the biggest surprise. And then I guess, I don't know, man. It feels like this season, especially, the Koreans aren't as strong as they were before, you know? Like, Violet always was, like, kind of questionable. Stardust barely making it out. And then Hydra placing second. Pulp placing second, and probably like Jaedong's the strongest Korean by far. I think he has the best chance actually to win the final.
Really, that's interesting. But yeah, Kane, what do you think of Snoot finishing out last? Do you think because there was talks of like him retiring and so on? What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to lose to Kelazur. I did expect him to come third. Anybody who's played Little Bo and a ZVP knows that he's pretty ridiculously good. So that was my expected result. I thought Little Bo and Hydra would make it out. I thought it would be Hydra first, Little Bo second, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Little Bo first, which is what happened. So yeah, not surprising for me. Kelazur, he played pretty well versus Snoot especially, so it's a nice result for him. not finishing last. I think it's better than most people expected him to do. So, yeah, not too surprising overall for me with that group.
Yeah. Okay. What about Group G, Blysk? Were you surprised to see Mana on the bottom?
Yeah, pretty much. I suppose his PVT should have been quite solid. But yeah, on that day he went down versus Igus already. That in itself, the first match was already quite a surprise. And then after that, in the losers match, he lost up against Massa as well, 1-2, 1-2. So, I mean, in recent days, Protoss have been struggling a bit against Terran, but still surprising to see Mana go down that way.
Yeah, I just realized like Igus and Massa probably prepared together versus Mana, right? They're on the same team. They play the same Protoss, so it's really cool to see that they both beat Mana. And also, one of the surprising results in the group is Firecake finishing up first. By the way, I tweeted, I'm like, am I the only one that's excited to see Firecake finish first in his group? And then, surprisingly, I was the only one. And I was really excited about Firecake's performance.
No, because no one likes Firecake, man. What did you expect?
Yeah, but like, you know, the thing is, like, back when everyone hated Naniwa, right? There's still people cheering for him.
No. Naniwa had, like, a polarizing effect. He had a bunch of people that liked him and a lot of people that hated him. Firecake only has people that are like, he's okay, and then people that literally hate him.
Yeah, but like until he's dominant, then he's very one-sided. So like I'm hoping that he gets really good, so that
but
some
he
people.
he has to be like dominant, like win WCS dominant, and then even then he doesn't have the personality that Nanawa had, because Nanawa, but Nanawa like called out a bunch of people. He was always like a big personality. He always talks a lot of shit. Firecake's just like kind of douchey, and then that's it. Like, he doesn't, like, call people out. He doesn't do, like, these, like, funny tweets or, like talk shits to the Koreans or any of the things that Nanawa did. He doesn't even do, like, entertaining interviews. Nanawa has, like, the nanny walk. He has the, like, checking out Rachel gift. He has, like, the fucking Nestea drama with GSL, the pro brush. He has shit talking at him. Like, he has all these things. Firecake's just, like, he's pretty good and he's kind of a douche. So he's never going to be...
Well,
like,
he has to build his legacy at some point. Like, you have to start somewhere, right?
He better spit and mix his face or something if he wants Nanawa fame.
All right. Well, Firecake and Igus came out of that group. Big fan of Firecake. But Group F, TLO finishing out first. Your friend Dario, HuK, were you happy for him?
I was, like, really surprised.
Yeah.
There's been a few people that I've said that to, and they're like, I don't know, man, TLO's pretty good, but I played him in a show match not too long ago, and I beat him pretty convincingly, and I don't consider myself in, like, really good shape or anything, so I was really surprised that he made it out first. I know that's, like, a subtle brag, a little bit.
It really is.
Yeah.
But all the same, I was pretty surprised. I guess his group wasn't super hard. I feel like last year, Major was, like, a scary Terran that not many people knew about, but he's kind of fallen off. And then a Laser... He's like a pretty good ladder monster, and he did really good in his up-down matches, but playing at a LAN is totally different than playing from home, and I don't think he was that experienced. So he was always going to be a question mark. And Polt's like going to school and stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, well, going to school in Korea, having access to the Korean ladder. Actually, 4GG tweeted to me about that in direct messages. And he's like, where did you hear that Polt is in Korea right now? I'm like, oh, someone, I can't tell the source. And he's like, so basically, you practice in Korea and come EUNA for a tournament. Wow, so fair! In all caps. Like 4GG is going to start the revolt.
4GG's always been a bit of a whiner, though. Like,
well, I mean, you have to put yourself in his shoes. Like, he also tweeted, like, I would never lose if I could stay in Korea and practice on Korean ladder. But yeah, anyway, that's another issue. Last group, Jadong, Gunfu Panda, Elfie, and Haz. Gunfu Panda almost making it out first of his group. Bliss, did you watch that Proxy 2 Gate game?
Yep.
Yeah,
Just did.
What did you think of it?
Yeah, that kid. Go ahead, go ham. Like, you better unload on him.
yeah.
Because he fucking had that game. Like, literally had... Like,
Anybody with a brain had that game.
I only watched the fucking GIF, and I was like, how the fuck did he lose this game? Alright?
Yeah.
Like, all he had to do was not lose so many probes at home, pull back, like, not literally send every zealot to its death. Like, he was up, what, like 10 supply or something at some point? It was like 25 to 15 or some shit?
It was 27 to 10 at one
like,
point.
He has 3 spines. He has way less workers. All you gotta do is like play a normal, semi-normal macro game. Even just get stalkers and range the hatchery, or like just completely not fuck up in every way. And he pretty much completely fucked up in every way.
Yeah.
He lost way too much to the Zerglings.
I like
That
how he
had-
had 6 or 7 zealots and he still engaged 3 spines. Like, in what world does that ever work?
It had almost nothing to do with Jaedong playing like a god. Like, there's so many posts on Reddit being like, oh my god, how did Jaedong do that? He's so good. It had, like, nothing to do with Jaedong playing well. Like, it was
literally-
everything to do with Gung Fu Banda fucking up really hard.
Yeah. Spines just auto attack, man. It's not like he had to fucking micro the shit out of his spines. It was literally just him bashing his head against the wall and Jaedong like countering with Zerglings, and that's it.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, he could have won with the proxy 2 gate itself. He didn't even have to go into the macro game. Like, he didn't know whether the third was at the gold or at the, like, at the back rocks, but, or, like, the in-base, the in-base natural. So, like, if he sent 1 zealot to the gold knowing that fact, like, if he checked with the probe in the in-base natural, he would send 1 zealot to the third, and then that would have ended the game already. But the fact that he let the drones escape to the third, he could have just killed off the, like, the main base, and then had 1 base versus 1 base, send, like, 2 zealots back, and then defend versus the links and go macro. So, 2 options there, both he didn't do neither, so. Yeah.
By the way, guys, make sure to go ask your question on Reddit if you have any questions for us throughout the show. It's in the chat. If you just came late to the chat, type !Reddit. Anyway, so yeah, that was the groups. We'll do round of 16 preview in 3 episodes from now, so on the 23rd, right before WCS. We'll just review the groups because talking about it now would be kind of pointless. So let's move on to the next topic. IM Season 10 announced StarCraft 2 stays in the circuit. I was excited to, because yesterday Carmack posted like, tomorrow we're gonna announce Season 10, and I was like, oh my god, like, is this it?
Yeah. If StarCraft 2 doesn't get announced, it's like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
it's just pretty much ogre. But,
Yeah, there's not much information outside of that StarCraft will be there. They announced the 6 stops, well, 5 stops plus the World Final. Shenzhen, Cologne.
Shenzhen will have StarCraft 2. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
So,
Planet Tribe.
because what?
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Because I know DreamHack Valencia is going on in the same time, which makes Valencia an even better thing. Because whenever there's an Asian event, a lot of Koreans naturally going to go to that over flying to Valencia, right? Because it's
Yeah.
so close.
Yeah,
So it's more appealing now for Valencia. Because maybe we'll have like Pult, Violet, 4GG, but like all those like partying Flash, all those guys, you know, Valencia, it's always paid trip. You have to pay for yourself. Where IEM, you can win those slots. So
Yeah. One of the things I like about IEM is it gives every region a chance to compete with a paid travel. Those qualifiers are always very exciting to watch, even the Korean qualifiers with all the Kispa players. But yeah, the 5 stops are Shenzhen, Cologne, San Jose, Cologne, and IEM Asia, to be announced at a later date. That's quite racist, by the way. And IEM Katowice, the World Finals. And okay, no one laughed or smiled. Fuck you all. And,
How is that racist?
no,
like,
that was
they're always gonna have 2 Asian events, like, in an Asian country, rather.
No, but yeah, no,
So.
it was a failed joke. Anyway, come on, Chris.
like, what's up, man? I didn't. Why would you say something as awkward as "Wow, no one laughed"? There wasn't a joke. There's nothing to laugh at, man.
Well, see, now we laughed in the end, so it's all cool. But yeah, I don't know. Using Cologne twice feels a little bit cheap, but it's gonna be Gamescom, and then the ESL Arena. It's in their studio, so it's obviously like.
Dude, I'm excited for San Jose. Fuck all this other shit.
Really?
Cali life. Yeah, man, Cali.
They're gonna do the SAP Center again, man.
Kane, Cali, you there? We going?
What about
No,
I don't know, man.
I had
It
fun with
depends.
Kane.
What?
We had fun.
What?
You,
We wrecked
When-
SoCal, man.
when I go out with desRow, he just pushes me. That's all he
No,
does.
no,
Yes,
no.
Yes, you remember Red Bull, man.
me? Yeah,
Come on.
but that was different.
Dude, be sitting there talking. I'm like trying to handle like some dramatic shit going down, right? And desRow's just sitting there fucking shoving me with like all of his weight behind him. I'm like, desRow, what do you want? desRow, stop fucking shoving me, man. Like the whole night, it was so aggravating, man.
My
Was it just
man.
because he was drunk or what?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was out of
And
it,
I wasn't
man.
like giving him enough attention or something.
I
He
wasn't
kept
I
fucking
was
shoving
I wasn't
me.
even saying anything like whenever like he looked back and he's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, I just smiled at him and like, "Yeah." Anyway,
You sound like a bitch.
no, that was a one-time thing, man. My man, come on. All right. But yeah, all these stops, they don't know. We don't know yet if StarCraft 2 is going to be at every event, because last year they skipped one IEM that StarCraft wasn't at, and now they have CS:GO, so we don't know like if it's going to be 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 5 out of 5. But it's really cool that StarCraft is back. Next up, we have StarCraft's Indiegogo campaign. For those that don't know what StarCraft is, it's like the little cute animation on YouTube made by that
Why don't
one
you
guy.
just say Carbot? It's
Carbot?
like Carbot,
But
yeah.
maybe they don't know Carbot, man.
Looks exactly like Carbot though.
Well, it is Carbot.
Yeah,
And
isn't it
Carbot.
Carbot?
Yeah, it is
so
Carbot.
why don't you just say that?
But maybe they don't know Carbot. It's the StarCrafts.
But
Because
it's,
more people will know Indiegogo.
yeah, everybody's gonna know Carbot before they know StarCrafts.
You think
Right?
so?
Yeah. What's StarCrafts?
That's
I
the
thought you
name of
just
his
had a
show.
list.
That's the name of his show.
Well, I know Carbot, but I don't know StarCrafts. I just thought you like.
Yeah, well,
developed
maybe
the
you
list.
don't read enough. But yeah. So basically, there's a demo you can play online. You can make Zerglings, Marines, and Zealots. I'm showing the little video right now on the screen. They're raising money to finish the mod. Basically,
70K is a lot of money though.
Yes, but-
Holy shit.
but in 4 days they already gathered $23,000. It's not
like
bad.
I'm supportive of the Indiegogo,
Yeah.
but to be honest, I feel like the money could go to something better. Maybe that's like very selfish of me to some degree because I am a pro player and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I see 70K and I know what like Rifkin's doing with what does he have like what was his initial goal like 12K or something for his Kickstarter?
10K or something.
10K and I'm like, man, that like I'm so happy there's going to be like an event in Toronto because like I wish there's more events in North America period or
Yeah.
Canada in general. And then I see this and it's like, yeah, it's cool, but then I think like,
How many people are actually going to play it?
yeah, and how long are they going to play it? You
Yeah.
know? And I'm just thinking like, man, if that, like let's say somebody raised like 70 or you take like that 70K and you added it to like what Rifkin's already raised and there's like 100K and they can actually host like a really cool North American event or something, I'd be like, I would rather that. And maybe like I know that I'm a pro player, so maybe that's that coming out. And like I mean, the community's gonna like fund whatever they want to fund anyway, so it doesn't matter what I say. But I just feel like the mod's like cool and entertaining and whatever, but is it really gonna be worth 70K?
Yeah. Well, the thing.
desRow, you can speak on it as a contributor yourself.
Yeah, I gave $50. But I don't know. 70K is a lot of money. I'm kind of sad about it, to be honest, because like the stretch goals are like really cool, but like you would do like a StarCraft's campaign at $200,000. He would do a StarCraft Plus, which is a casual mode at 150K. You would add Legacy of the Void units at 95K. So like at 70K, as soon as this launched, this is a little bit outdated because he's not gonna reach, the Legacy of the Void unit. Does that make sense? Like, there's so many.
Yeah, but
like
I don't
in-
even.
yeah.
Like, that's none of those stretch goals. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm really excited. I don't know. I know, like, I love Carbot.
Yeah.
Like, I always watch every episode, and they're really well done. So I want to support someone that's, like, supported the scene. But at the same time, I look at this, and it's like, maybe I'd play it, like, once or twice, and it would be, like... It would be entertaining for, like, 1 or 2 games, and then I would
Yeah.
just kind of be over it. I'd be like,
For
okay...
me, it's like Starbow. Like, Starbow was huge for like a week or two, and even now there's like a tournament every once in a while, but nobody really cares about Starbow that much
Yeah,
anymore.
and I called it as it was too. Everyone was like, Starbow, man. They got the old Brood War units. It's like better, like the army. But then I was like, but it's just gonna die out. There's not enough. It's not like this is gonna be something, you know? Like 6 months from now, it's gonna be so much smaller than it was. And everyone's like, no, it's so cool. And like I played a few, like same thing. I played a few games, but like realistically, I'm just trying to be realistic about it, and I just don't see. I mean, I see where the money has to go because they do have to do a lot of work, and it is a lot of work to do this shit, but I don't think, personally, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, his time is very valuable, and it might be too valuable for how much he wants to achieve. Sadly, but hopefully he gets there. I mean, a lot of people have contributed. There's a lot of time. It's flexible funding, so even if they don't reach, he'll pocket the money and finish it on his own, I guess. Because you know, like sometimes with Kickstarters, like you get all the money and then you do it, or if you don't get it all the money, everyone gets refunded and then you don't do shit, you know. But it's different this way. Next up, we have Patchtoss map packs, still not banned. Something that some people on Twitter really wanted me to talk about, so we're gonna bring this on the subject. So basically, it was a Guitar Cheese who creeped up on a VOD of Patchtoss, and he recorded the VOD, and it comes to a point where you can hear build probe, which is part of the map pack. Like it tells you when you're supposed to build probe, and that leaked into Patchtoss stream, so that's why they caught it. And this guy is like has 3 accounts in the top 16. Kane, have you ever played Patchtoss? Were you suspicious of him?
I probably played him. I am never suspicious of people. Like, when it's really, really obvious, I'm like, okay, yeah, that guy was probably a map hacker. But honestly, that's probably happened like 3 times in my StarCraft career where I know for sure somebody's map hacking. So yeah, I probably played him, but I probably didn't notice he was map hacking or just didn't care enough to remember. Like, he should be banned by now for sure. But I'm not really one to worry about map hackers that much, to be honest.
Why?
Because it doesn't affect me. Like, if they're playing in WCS qualifiers and stuff, sure, like that's pretty dangerous. And I think this guy might have played in WCS. I'm not sure. So like he definitely should be banned and reprimanded or whatever. But I don't worry about how other people play. And for Zerg, like playing against a Protoss map hacker is pretty. It's not that big of a deal as Zerg. Like you kind of do the same things, the same openers. You play safe, whatever. So I just never really noticed. I never really care when I play Protoss map hackers.
Okay. What about you, Bliss? Do you play on the NA, by the way? Or you only play on
very
Korean server?
rarely.
I see.
Yeah, very rarely, but I do. Well, on Korean server, that's actually like an issue on its own. Like the low GM and high masters, I think even mid masters on a Korean server has a lot of map hackers, and they're quite obvious about it. Like they wouldn't try to hide the fact that they're map hacking. Like if you have an observer crossing the map, they would like stare at it on their screen. Like you can go into their perspective and see it, but you can report them and whatever, and it's gonna take forever for them to actually get banned, or if at all. But yeah, for like this kind of scenarios, he's been publicly exposed, so you would expect the ban to come sooner. But I'm guessing still nothing has really been done. So I don't know.
What about
you? Really, like
ahead.
Kane said, it doesn't hurt him, but I think it hurts the ecosystem, right? Like players would want to try to get better, and then you're playing on ladder, and then you see this guy map hacking, and you're just like, ah, shit. Well, I guess I'm not practicing today anymore.
Yeah, it's doesn't make it fun for sure. What about you, Chris? You have anything?
I've played him before, but like Kane, like I don't stress about it because what are you gonna do at the end of the day? So it's not like if I play somebody and I lose, I'm like, fuck, let's like thoroughly examine this replay and every move. I just kind of move on and keep playing. But PvP, it's a lot worse as far as what Kane was saying. Like if they know what you're doing, like you're proxying a Stargate and they just blindly open Phoenix and your Oracle flies in and they just have 2 Phoenix there, then like get fucked, leave the game. So it depends on the matchup. But yeah, it sucks. I hope he gets banned. What else are you gonna say, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
I actually find playing hackers is kind of helpful sometimes from a Zerg perspective, because it really opens up weaknesses in your play. Like, assuming you're not cheesing or proxying, because then, yeah, it's an auto loss. But if you're playing a standard, like, normal macro game, and they can see everything that you're doing and try to expose those weaknesses from your point of view, then it's really sick because you can see where you're going wrong, you can see where you need to play safer, stuff like that. So, as long as I'm not cheesing, and as long as it's not, like, a 4-player map and they proxy 2-gate or something like that. If I play standard, it's actually helpful for me to play hackers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, I very much agree. Yeah, like if you know the guy's a hacker, and you play versus him a straight up macro game, it can actually help you play. Like, but I think in PvZ it's slightly harder because if you know exactly what the Protoss is doing, you can react much better. But in situations where it's more mechanically based, like PvT for example, even if they know like where your observers are and everything, it's actually better to practice with that situation. Given that it's the worst case scenario, how if their drops just dodge your observers, you still have to react and everything like that. These kind of practice can actually pay off. So, yeah,
There's so many more Protoss map hackers than Zerg or Terran, I find though. Like, I find so many Protoss map hackers.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure why it is, but maybe it's because like Zerg. Like, I think that Zerg probably benefits the most from map hacking, but I don't see many Zergs map hacking, or at least I don't notice it, like I said earlier. But like I see on forums and I see all the time like people complaining about Protoss map hackers, but never Terran or Zerg.
Or maybe they're hacking and still losing, so no one's actually complaining about it.
That could be too.
Oh,
All right.
Row.
Let's move on to the next topic. Top 50 streamers of May 2015. This is something that's posted every month for the past 2 years now, and this month it wasn't, it wasn't that good, the numbers. But just talk about, put a little bit of perspective, give our opinion. So the biggest thing to look at is the graph. I don't know how it'll come out on stream. Yeah, it looks big enough. Maybe I can do better.
How heavily does WCS weigh into this? Like the fact that WCS happened this month, basically.
It's
like I guess saturation wise.
Yeah, that probably plays a factor because the month before there wasn't. In March, right? There wasn't much WCS.
Yeah.
But basically, if you guys look back. I'm trying to like zoom out, or god damn it, this is pretty hard. All right, so if you look at this graph, so this is the beginning when he started piling up the numbers, and then when after the Swarm beta came out, the viewers, it was still pretty high, and then the month after that, the viewers went down. And one of the reasoning you can say is people they get to taste something new. They're like all excited, but not everyone has access to the beta. So then they're like, well, fuck this shit. I don't want to watch the old game like Wings of Liberty. And then right now would be Heart of the Swarm. People get a little bit tired because of the meta that's been figured out and the builds that are the same. And so we've come to a point now where the viewer count for the player streams is extremely low, the lowest it's ever been. Well, would it be the lowest it's ever been?
No,
last summer was pretty low, right?
No.
Too.
I think it's the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah, but if you look like July or June of 2014, like it's almost as low as that. But yeah, it's obviously the lowest. But yeah, so basically it's really hard right now to get viewers for the player stream, but the overall picture is still doing okay, although he didn't include it in this month. Usually I have to bitch at him for him
to include what,
it.
like the WCS numbers and stuff?
The overall picture, like he used to include it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you mean when you say the overall picture, by the way.
Okay,
so
well,
don't just keep repeating overall picture, and then it's not gonna like all of a sudden become crystal clear to me.
My man, the overall picture. All right, no, hold on. I'm like, I'm digging for it. Hold on. He took it away because he claimed like the MLG. Okay, see, this is
just individual stream. What we're seeing on the graph, which
but
makes sense.
Here's the link for like the everything. This was from January, so you could see like the non-player stream.
Did he stop doing it?
Yeah, he stopped doing it in January, like
Why?
piling, because he's like.
He got depressed looking at the numbers.
Well,
That.
Well, that's what I kind of assume every time. Like he's trying to protect us or something, but
Yeah.
he claims like the MLG numbers were not accessible, so like it's not accurate. but there's nothing fucking going on MLG except Shotcraft, and Shotcraft has the viewer numbers. So it's a little bit weird, but this would be the total picture. Like the non-player stream, obviously for like December and October was really low, as you can see on that picture.
Because there was no tournaments.
Yeah, no tournaments exactly. But yeah, so it's hard to tell like what's the accurate situation of the scene, because you know base trade is on so many days a week, and they obviously impact quite a lot the personal stream. Like Legacy of the Ultras by Take. There's so many daily tournaments, but so yeah, StarCraft 2 is in a little bit of a weird place. Like most of everyone's average is down by half. Like Nathaniel streamed more in May than he did in April, and he lost like 600 average viewer.
Yeah. I think there's a few contributing factors to this. Like even like right now, base trade going on, 9,000 viewers. You know, does he count that as an individual stream, or does he count that towards tournament?
It's a tournament. It's not an individual.
I just
stream.
feel like you said, there's like WCS happened. That's like basically 2 weeks gone. Like people just get sick of watching StarCraft 2, you know?
Yeah.
And there's so much shit that's like constantly going on. Even now, this month, we'll have like a good break before Toronto finals, but then there's Toronto finals, and then there's Home Story Cup, then there's Valencia. Like there's so much shit constantly going on.
Really, like Nathanius losing 600 average viewer, even though he streamed what was it, 20 more hours or 40 more hours. Like that's crazy, right? But then again, the thing is, the longer you run a StarCraft stream, the less interesting it's gonna be, because there comes a point where you just can't talk all the time, you know?
Yeah, I just think it's people being, I don't know what to say about this. I think it's like a lot of oversaturation. StarCraft 2's always battled with oversaturation. You know, you look at Dota 2 and they have like, the only thing people really, really get super hyped about is the international, right? And then LoL is just like a monster no matter what, but I don't know, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, when someone watches WCS for 8 hours, they don't really want to watch a player stream after that. But yeah, it's just
exactly.
the numbers going down. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit. It's interesting. And our last topic of the day. After that, we're gonna go into the viewer questions. It's a little bit of a short show, guys.
Are we at viewer questions already?
My man, we blazed through. We 420 that pretty quickly. But yeah, last topic of the day: Kane going back to part-time player. Ah!
Woo!
So
I'm excited.
what? Why?
Because now I have an excuse when I lose. I can be like, no, you just won because I'm in studies right now. Like I'm a part-time player, and then somebody will brag about beating me, and I'll be like, yeah, you beat a student. Congratulations. Like who gives a fuck? Like I'm only part-time. So now I can use that as an excuse. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I'll never lose again because now I have an excuse. It's gonna be so sick.
And why
blazed through that topic?
no, shut up. Why did you make the move? Was it just not sustainable? Like
no,
just
like
not
I'm
enough
actually
money?
making more money than I ever have before in terms of StarCraft, but I don't know. I really miss going to school. I miss hanging out with my friends. I miss having a life.
You miss the booty.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss meeting girls. I miss having a stable girlfriend that I don't have to like say goodbye to every week or something like that when I travel, you know. Like all of this comes with pro gaming, and I knew that going into pro gaming. But now it's time where I'm like, okay, like I could live with going to, you know, 1 or 2 tournaments a year or something like that instead of, you know, 7, 8, 9 tournaments. So I just figured that it was time for me. Like I kind of miss going to school. I miss learning. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
What about your position with My Insanity? It doesn't change, right?
Doesn't change. No, I'll continue to play for them. I'll continue to participate in WCS. Hopefully they can accommodate me if I make it into Premier. Hopefully it won't land around exam times or anything like that. And if it does, they can maybe reschedule me and fit me in at a time where it fits my schedule better like they did for Xenocider. So I'm hoping that's what'll happen.
So you're going for the fall session, right?
Yep, fall and winter as well.
Cool. And how much longer do you have before you get your degree?
Just 1 year, and then like I'll have my undergrad degree. So after that, if Legacy is looking really good,
Can consider
like I
taking
said,
time off.
I'll play like part-time during school. So if Legacy is really good, and if I'm like pretty good at it, I might continue with pro gaming if StarCraft 2 is looking quite good. So I'll play it by ear in that respect, but chances are I won't come back unless it's looking very, very good.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, guys, we're at the part where you guys get to ask us questions, and since the show has been so short, I'll be very flexible with the questions. So if you ever thought that your question was really bad and you were too afraid to ask it, well, today's the day.
No. Let's not be too flexible, man.
Use hashtag SC2Remax on Twitter to ask your questions, and or Reddit. Check out the Reddit thread right here. Let's get to it. I'm refreshing the page. Is there anything new? No. Okay. How does HuK plan on juggling competing in WCS and playing Heroes? Do you feel like you can stay one of the best NA players?
I don't feel like I used to think StarCraft 2 you should play like 8 to 10 hours a day and study 1 or 2 hours, but the more I play, the more I realize that being happy is more important than mass playing. So if you play 6 hours a day, even 5 hours a day, 4 hours a day, and you like watch an hour or so, catch up on VODs, and you're happy, that's a lot better than like soul sucking 10 hours a day. You're like just massing games, but you're not actually like learning anything just because it's like you're that unhappy playing the game. So I'd much rather go ahead, Kane.
I completely agree with everything you just said, like 200%.
Yeah, and I feel like most players they get to that point because you play for so long, and it's like really fun when you first start playing, but after a certain like all that amount of time is different player to player, but you reach a point where you're just like, I don't want to like force myself to play 10 hours a day because you get into a game and then you just like forgate and you're like, well, fucking lost, or you're like, well, I won, but you don't really take anything away from it. So I'd much rather just play a shorter, like less amount of time, but let it be quality, not quantity. And then, other than that, I can play Blitz Heroes, I can read, I can, cast some games, I can do whatever. So, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's why you'd see like some players taking a holiday and then coming back and just stomping through WCS. Like having a clear mind is way better when it comes to StarCraft. I think it's very, very important. And also on the topic at hand, I don't think balancing like 2 games is too difficult, given how like you would see a lot of pro players already like after they stream and then they can go off and play some other casual game with their friends or whatever. And we see also another player who plays a lot of Heroes and does decently well at StarCraft as well. Daishi, for example, he's balancing both, and I don't know, DreamHack.
And Todd as well, like he casts, it's a bit different, but like he was playing StarCraft, and I think he was playing Heroes for like some time.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's a big deal. Even this, like when I was in SoCal, I hate to like keep bringing up the fact that I destroyed Intense and Arium, but I even played Supernova and like the Shoutcraft thing or whatever, and Supernova is not like insanely good or anything, but he's still a Korean Terran. And he does play a lot more than I do. And I beat him, and then I played Mana in the Take TV League, which is, once again, Legacy of the Void, but he's a pretty solid player, and I beat him. So I don't think, like... I just don't believe... Even Korean pro gamers nowadays, they're practicing like the A-teamers. They only have to do mandatory practice, like 5 to 6 hours a day. And if they want to do more, they can do more, but they're not forced to. So I just think you gotta balance it, like everything else in life.
Yeah,
I think it's a thing where like once you hit one of the skill caps, like a skill level, it's harder to like if you practice 8 hours a day, it's not gonna help you increase tremendously compared to practicing 4 hours a day of just like freshening up your builds and whatnot. Like if you compare the playstyle of like PvZ now compared to like I don't know, like a few months ago, Protoss is still doing the same +2 blink attack or like build order the whole time. So it's not like, oh, if you play 8 hours a day, you're gonna have some like strike of genius here and make some new builds. It's just like, it's just sharpening up your knife or whatever. So, I mean, the difference is not too much if you have that like extra 2 hours of practice.
Yeah, for sure. From the same guy, Kespa on Reddit, he says, "Do you know of any pros specifically who have shifted focus to new game and have been able to maintain their form?" So we mentioned Daishi, we mentioned Todd. Does anyone else know anyone?
You know, Bunny was actually playing Cloud Built. It's a kind of a speedrunning game for quite a while, and he was very competitive in that. Not many people know about this, but he was like holding world records in that game, and he was playing a lot of it. He didn't play StarCraft for quite a few months. Like, he didn't practice intensely for quite a few months. Like, maybe.
I remember this because I was talking to him, and he said he was like really considering retiring, and this was right before he all of a sudden he's doing really well, and he's considered probably the best foreigner. Maybe it's like a toss up between him and a few others, but he's got the results to speak for it, especially with Snoot dropping out of WCS. And before he came back and started doing really well, he was actually just considering retiring. But he took like that break, and now he's doing well.
And I wouldn't surprise me if he still played Cloud Build quite a bit, but I know he's one of the guys that doesn't practice like a shit ton, but he still plays really, really well. Like, he definitely does play more than some players, but yeah, he's really, really strong.
Okay.
Obviously.
Polt played a lot of Hearthstone, still doing well in StarCraft. Would be
There's a lot
example.
of players. Teja's Diamond on LoL, on Korea.
Stardust as well.
Same thing.
Yeah, Stardust.
There's a lot of players that are really good at other games.
Yeah.
They just don't stream it. The thing is like, people always get shit, you know? Like, you stream another game, and half the comments on Twitch, or you get tweets and like, no wonder you lost in WCS, been playing too much LOL or Heroes or whatever. But it doesn't equate that way. It's not like you can just like dedicate 12 hours a day, you know, and then that's going to necessarily make you a better player. It's not. It doesn't work.
Yeah, like,
and it's
HuK,
all
if you lose in the next WCS, I guarantee people are going to be like, yeah, well, of course he's like a Heroes player now. Like,
or
no matter
a caster,
what round
or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're always going to say shit.
Yeah,
and
so
it's stupid.
Matter.
It comes from it's like semi our own fault as far as like the community, even myself, where everybody looked at Brood War and they thought like, okay, and Brood War, you know, they were in these training houses and they practice like 10, 12 hours a day, and that's what it takes to be a really good player. And if you're not doing that, you know, no wonder foreigners are losing to Koreans, because you're fucking playing Heroes, because you're doing this, you're doing that. But they don't understand that Koreans live balanced lifestyles too. It's not, you know. And we just kind of put up this image that that's what it takes, and I don't think that's true.
And even the ones that don't, like Solar, for example, was playing like something ridiculous, 14, 15 hours a day or something like that. And he did have like a really good run last year, but look now, like he's, you know, in a huge slump right now, I think most people would say. Like, for the amount that he practiced and the amount of time that he put into this game, like, theoretically, he should be way above where he is now. But, you know, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't, like, the time you put into this game doesn't necessarily equate to results.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I think, like, last year when was during one of the Taiwan Open Cups or whatever, I think Sen is one of the examples I know best of, where he usually doesn't practice a lot or at all until like 1 or 2 weeks before the tournament. Then he puts in a lot of practice, and then he still does decently well. I mean, nowadays, yes, you can see him kind of fall off in results from like WCS. He just enters and then kind of leaves after the group stages. But I mean, bad draws or what? But yeah, he still plays decently just by practicing that like 2 weeks before a tournament, no matter. So it's like, if you have that skill there, it's not going to just like magically disappear. And yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah, you just need to grind the mechanics, and then it comes to a point where you have enough skill
You get numb after a while, though. It's like you can practice a whole week, and then you'll feel like just so your head's just filled up with all these like strategies and everything. And then if you like take 1 or 2 days to like refresh or whatever after like a really long practice period, I think you always play slightly better. Or maybe that's only in my situation. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Next up, how excited is everyone on the show for the return of the God of Protoss? Will HuK lose a spot as top 3 Protoss from Ontario?
I actually didn't know who that was, who they talked about, and then I made a Google search, and the first thing that came out who you'd expect would be like
Oh,
hero, parting,
Combat
nope.
X. Combat X. That's what it
Combat
is.
fucking X.
I didn't even
The
think of
god
it.
of-
I saw the
ah.
thread and we even talked about it, and then I was like, "Who the fuck are they talking about?" But I mean,
It's
he's
like
an
the
alright
first
guy.
link.
He's an alright guy, but let's be realistic here.
He's a showman.
I'm happy. I think it's good for StarCraft 2 that he returns. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, but
I was happy when Tara Babcock almost returned to
okay.
StarCraft 2.
Oh my god.
What? I think she's good for
Fucking-
StarCraft 2 too, man.
Fucking kill me.
Oh,
No.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys think I'm like
Exactly,
you guys think I'm like some
exactly.
thirsty motherfucker? No, but I think
No,
are
like
you
I don't
not?
think. I
No.
don't think.
We know.
look,
No.
look. As much as Combat X is good for the scene, I think Tara Babcock can fill a hole as well.
I bet you want to.
Ah! Ah!
You dug
I
yourself
got
into
the
that
joke,
one.
desRow. I got the joke.
All right, I'm good. All right. Anyway, so yeah, you're glad he's back, yeah. But he's more of a showman than a competitor.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Tara Babcock's competing with the best man. See her in the GSL booth any day now.
Yeah, you never know. All right. Next up, is there such a thing as an automatic build order loss in light of Jaden's clutch old versus Gunfu Panda? Or do you think Gunfu Panda just made mistakes, for example, not going for the gold base?
We already addressed this shit. It's pretty much as build order loss as you can get.
No,
And
but
yes.
but his question is like, is there such a thing as a build order loss?
Yeah, go
course.
6 hatchery before pool, and they go like triple gate or 4 gate. Like that's a build order loss. But if you're going to be realistic about it, that is as close as it's going to get it in pro games as like an automatic loss.
That it is an automatic loss. Like if I were Jadon, I like since it's tournament I would have tried, but if it was ladder, I just would have left immediately.
Yeah.
Like there's no winning in that scenario if they have a brain.
Idra
But-
would literally scout it with an overlord and leave the game. Period.
Yes,
For
and
sure.
that's like what you should do on ladder, because
Yeah.
like you are going to lose. But I don't know, Gung Fu Banda just kind of lost his brain for a few minutes, but luckily he regained it in that last series versus Elfie, who also lacks a brain sometimes. So
Yeah,
Good points all around. Good points.
Yeah, I agree. Where is Moro? I need info on the potato cam. So I talked to him last night. He's trying to get top 16 GM, and after that he's gonna buy a potato and set up the potato cam. He still hasn't chosen his potato. Who's the chosen one? He's not sure yet. But all right. Next up, HuK. I'm really interested in the famous HuK rating. Apparently, you're able to pinpoint the score of a movie very precisely as seen here. How could Avengers get the lead of exactly 0.3 points? Which movies, series, whatever have scored above 8 HuK points? These are the questions which won't let me sleep at night. I hope you're able to answer them today. Cheers.
So the reason I do the decimal point is because I just feel like a rounded number isn't enough. Like the difference between a movie that's like 8.6 and a movie that's a 9, there's a big difference. So I feel like it's just necessary. How I calculate that is just kind of like, I don't know, man, I just feel it out. Nothing really. Movies that would get higher than an 8, I want to say something like recently, Guardians of Galaxy. That was a really good movie.
What
I enjoyed
about
it a lot.
Wolf of Wall Street?
No.
What?
I thought it was a good movie, but I would give it like a
That movie is like inspirational.
7.7 or something, maybe
Okay.
for someone like you.
Okay, we can be friends then.
But Inception, very good movie. I would give it probably over an 8. Yeah. If you want to throw movies at me, keep going. But yeah, there are movies
Prestige,
like
Memento, Ex Machina.
I actually liked Ex Machinima. Yep.
What about
Yeah.
Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles?
No, I didn't see
Alright,
it. But
that's
I already want to
Stop
say no.
stop throwing ideas out.
All right.
Point being, there are movies that get over 8. So,
Okay, cool.
Yep.
are they playing the best of 69, all of it today?
Yes.
yes,
Are they retarded?
yes, yes.
Well, they raised $3,000 for the prize pool.
What's
Yes.
so what are they? What's best
Yes.
of 60? What is the
Best
the
of 30,
threshold
35.
35.
to 35?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
whoever
and it's
gets to 35.
23-20 right now. It's really close.
Yeah, but Bunny won the last like 7 games in a row.
Nice.
It's like almost watching. I don't know if you guys are into poker. Anybody here into poker?
Yeah,
No.
sure.
I watch
Go ahead.
from time to time.
When they did the Dur challenge.
What was that?
Okay, fuck off. You're not into poker. Dur, this really good player, Tom Dur, he basically challenged people like heads up to play like really long games, like even multi-table games, and he challenged like an open challenge. And it's kind of like that because they were such long games, and then he'd like put like extra bonus if they won or something, and they played like pretty high stakes. So it's kind of like that just because it's such a long series. I physically wouldn't want to do it though, I think. And I think depending on the matchup, it would get very tiresome for one race or the other. Like, I feel like Zerg should have an advantage in this just because Zerg's very reactionary compared to Terran. Right? Or like ZVP, I would struggle PvZ because I feel like you need a lot of build orders PvZ to win games. Like, you need an advantage somehow. And you play someone like 10 games, you're already going to like start recycling build orders.
They had something similar, and Baby Knight got smacked by Snoot, right? But I don't know if it was. I think it was like a best
I don't
of
think
30,
it was. Yeah,
a
I don't
best
think it
of
was
31 or something.
69. Man.
Yeah. So basically, they've been at it for 14 hours, and they have 30 games left to play.
The weird thing is,
Well,
at the start,
maybe 30
Yeah,
games.
maybe, yeah.
They could have like 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
at the start, they didn't have this many viewers. Like, the longer they went, the more viewers they're getting, so...
That's
it's
generally how it
working
works.
out.
It
Yeah.
has to do with time zones as well, though.
I
Like,
know,
right now
but
it's a
still.
great time in NA, and it's also like a pretty good time in Europe. So
Imagine if like they did that before Swarmos got nerfed.
Oh my god, dude. That would, like, mech versus mech, they physically wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
Like, I would honestly start cheesing a lot, right?
Yeah.
If I was in that kind of series.
Yeah,
Like,
but they were
every
playing
third
with
game or
like
something?
plenty of like funky maps. Like I was saying in the pre-show earlier, you weren't here. There was a map where you had rules like don't float over 600, don't get supply block, don't have max out energy. But like the rules, they like fade out after a certain time. Like the rules no longer and it's like in the map, and so if like you break the rule, you lose the map by default. So fucking Bunny thought he was clever. He made Mass Viking, and then the rule disappeared about being supply block. So he had Mass Viking trying to kill overlords for no fucking reason, and then he died. So there's like stupid maps like that. Like they played Scrap Station and so on. So it's cool. It's one. I mean, like they made 3K. They raised 3K from that. So it's good for them. And it's
How are they splitting it?
it's 69% to the winner, and then
Jesus Christ. Why did they pick 69? Like, am I too childish? Am I reading into this too much? Right? Like, it's supposed to be like HTC sponsorship, but then they have 69. It seems like a desRow move.
Wow, this
Wow.
guy.
Or a Kane move. I could
Okay,
see Kane doing it too.
excuse me.
I
Come
know
on,
Kane.
Kane,
We're
come
cool.
on.
We're cool.
Come on,
HuK
man.
is just we're above
very
him.
very different reasons between the both of you.
We're
but
above you. All
All
right.
the
Yeah.
same. I could see both of you
All right.
doing it.
Fuck you, HuK.
Okay, for this.
Whoa!
Whoa. So, another question. For desRow, Wolf did a short Ask Me Anything on his stream and said he would love to be on Remax. Can you please invite him for some insight into the Korean scene during one episode? I feel like that guy's a fucking troll. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having Wolf on, but that seemed like a bait question. But,
Pretty sure I know more than Wolf about Korea. But
well,
Well, I mean,
Well.
HuK lived there for quite a while too.
Yeah.
So
3 years.
yeah, but Wolf had many different Korean girlfriend, man.
That's possibly true. Well, I mean, what
I
kind of
guess you're right,
questions
then.
does this guy want to know? Like,
I guess
thought
he
this
knows
was
the
a
in and
StarCraft
outs.
show. Yeah, I know in and out. Like your mom.
All right, from Lost Patrol, the MVP of the Reddit questions. HuK. Nathanius said on stream last week that he wants to cast in Korea, but the main casters over there are keeping Western casters out to avoid competition. Do you think the Korean scene would benefit from more foreign casters?
Yeah, I do. But this has always been a very, like, you talk about old boys clubs, this has always been a very political kind of thing.
Well-
You basically have Tastosis, and they own everything in Korea. Like, you will not cast in Korea if they don't want you to, basically. So if you're on good terms with Artosis and Tasteless, you can cast in Korea. But then even then, like,
You
there's
can get
been...
chased out, just like Kaldor happened.
Exactly. So, I can't really say everything that's happened, even on that particular subject.
About Kaldor?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't. Do you know exactly what happened? 'Cause
Well,
I-
he went to a Chinese tournament and he said I'd do it for free or something,
no.
and so they lost the gig or whatever, and then he
Nope.
got no. That's not what
No.
happened.
That was like a very
Just looks
small-
into the light.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of things like they just have way too much power. And they like if I was them and I was making a shitload of money casting and not really playing the game that much, I wouldn't want people that actually play the game to come over either and cast it, you know? They have a good thing going for them and they have all the power and they can determine who casts and who doesn't cast. And if they don't like you, you're not going to cast. You know? Like if Nathanias could come over, I could get Patchtoss's money and move to Korea. I'd probably move to Korea and get Patchtoss's money. But you just can't. You can't just snap your fingers and do that. You know, Tasteless has been living in Korea for man, I don't even know how long, since Brood War days. You know, and he's been casting for GSL and other companies. They have all the connections. They have all the reputation.
Are you
It's
sure it's not because Calor tried to undercut them?
It was more than just the Chinese tournament.
I see.
Yeah.
And then eventually, they told, I think, Gom that they wouldn't cast if he stayed, so he was forced to leave.
Something like that, yeah.
Man, that's like a fucking mafia takeover, like fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if they don't want you to cast in Korea, you're not gonna cast in Korea.
Like, on the bright side, it's only esports, so you get to keep your knees not broken. But yeah, all right. Glad to see a show without Naniwa. I like him in small dose.
No.
What?
No, I want to address it. Twitch chat's like filtered as fuck. What do you mean? How's that filtered?
FIFA did nothing wrong.
Yeah, filter my.
Okay, can I go on with the next question?
Yeah, go on. I'm just mad at Twitch chat. I want to ban people.
Oh, please don't.
I don't know. Keep talking. We'll see.
All right. Glad to see a show without Naniwa. I like him in small doses, and it's nice to have villains in StarCraft 2 to spice things up. But for an entire show, he gets grating. His style of humor gets old. Well, that wasn't a question.
Nice question. All right, so we're done.
No, hold on.
It's just starting up streams and everything.
No,
Yeah,
no.
man.
ready
I'm
to
turning
go.
on my laptop.
Shut up.
We're done on this, man.
There we go. Start like, yep.
How do I mute my?
Go ahead.
Is this it?
desRow.
Hold on. There's like I have to read. We were so into the last topic that I.
All right, let's wrap this up.
No,
Right.
hold on.
All right. I want
Hold on. Okay, that was it. Hold on. Maybe there's something on Twitter. Oh, maybe there's something on Twitter.
Fucking kill me.
Yo, I'm a man of the people. All right.
You're not doing a good job of being a man of the people.
You're just impatient. What's going on with you, man? Do you have to go pee or something?
No, I just
Fine.
want to get on with my life if this is it, and it feels like this is it because you've been stuttering and blabbering for like the last 5 minutes.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
if you got a question, fucking deliver it, and if you don't, let's do this.
Are you guys gonna try Starbow 1.0?
No.
No, I've never
Next
touched
question.
Starbow.
Okay.
Don't plan to.
Okay. Yeah, we're done. Hold on. Maybe there's a Patreon call in. No. Okay. All right.
No.
Okay. Let's do the outros now. Since HuK is so impatient, you can't do this, man. No, we look unprofessional. All right.
You
Yeah,
got a
but
girl
we
in
look
the
very
back, man.
professional as you're like, no, maybe there one here, Like, you talk about professional, man. Don't give me shit. It would have been
Wow.
better if we
HuK-
just rapped where I said we should have rapped. No?
HuK,
No.
HuK is going Hulk mode here, man.
What do you mean?
He just wants to start his stream. Let him start his stream.
This
Yeah.
is but we were supposed. It's supposed to last 2 hours, man. You should be more patient. All right.
What?
So, guys, thank you
You were
everyone
supposed
for.
to last 15 minutes with Tara Babcock, but you never did.
Are you saying that to HuK?
No? Do you?
No? Where you-
What the
I'm not
fuck? What if
HuK's not the one wanting to feel holes.
I've never met her, but anyway. Jesus Christ! I know. The show's
never
over,
met
guys.
her?
Let's do. No, I've never met her.
You've like talked to her on Skype and
Oh,
stuff.
you're-
Oh yeah. I speak to her from time to time. She's nice.
That's how desRow does all his things.
Whoa!
On Skype, Twitter.
All right. You're this.
bit of stream.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed Bliss' contribution to Remax. Last time he's gonna be on. So what are you up to next, Blisk? Tell the audience.
Next confirmed tournament, definitely DreamHack Valencia. So hope to see me there. And yeah, as for myself, well, I guess follow my Twitter and watch my stream.
Nice. It's Blisk on Twitter. What about
Yeah,
you,
shout
Kane?
out to desRow for having me here.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no
man.
problem. Yeah.
Yo, I'm a fucking host too, man.
Oh, yeah, thanks, HuK. Sure.
What about you, Kane? What are you up to next?
You're never gonna be on this show.
I don't
again,
know.
Gus.
Maybe Toronto. I'll be in Toronto. I don't know if I'll be casting or not yet, but I'll be there.
Yo,
So
if
you're-
we're not casting, we'll just get plastered and do like chest bumps as we play foosball again.
We're gonna get at. Yeah, I remember that. Man, that was so much fun. That was like the best night ever. I got home, HuK. Okay, I got home at like what 3, and then I slept until 4. My shuttle was at like 4:30, so I woke up. I just threw up everything from that night,
God.
and then I didn't shower. I didn't change or
Oh
anything.
my god.
And I went on the shuttle and traveled for 16 hours.
Sounds horrible.
What the fuck?
Sounds horrible.
It was hilarious. I stank like a motherfucker, man.
Well, but yeah, what? So you're gonna be in Toronto? Anything else, Kane?
No.
Okay.
Not planned yet.
Okay, cool. What about you, HuK?
What? Going to Toronto, then going
Yeah.
to Home Story Cup, then going to Valencia.
Oh, nice, nice.
So what?
Look at
Toronto's in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like actually a small Ontario land I'm maybe going to in 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks is Toronto, and then a little bit more is Home Story Cup, and a little more is Valencia.
Are you excited to see me at WCS? Well, guys. All right, so I want to give a shout out to our Patreon people, Zelazam, Nifolio, Jack, Winky, Lucid, and everyone else. And yeah, we'll be back next week with new topics, new guests, and hopefully a HuK that's not enraged because he wants to leave. Thank you everyone for watching. The VODs are going to be up on YouTube like pretty soon. And after the commercials, I'm going to host HuK. So take care, everyone. All right.